Okay, today I thought I would share how to make a nice fleecy hat for a newborn. Okay, so this pattern I made by drawing around a baby hat that I already had. See this dotted line here? Well, you might be able to see it. I'm not sure how bleached out it is. Ignore that. Do not cut that until I show you as part of the making process. This is to be made out of stretch fabric rather than cottons. So basically you need to have a nice stretchy fabric. It can be 4-way stretch or 2-way stretch. If you're using 2-way stretch, make sure that you've got your stretch running side to side and not up and down. As I said before, this is in the newborn size, but because the pattern is so basic, you can literally just make it larger and you can have it to fit from newborn up to any size adult. So I've chosen some fabric that I got online and I've made quite a few things out of it already. It's really nice and fleecy on this side. Okay, so I'm going to fold my fabric. We've got to make sure the stretch goes across, that the most stretch is that way. So we're going to have to fold our fabric like this. I'm going to put that at the bottom. Okay, so hopefully you can see that the stretch is more so this way, across ways. Okay, let's just see if our pattern fits on there. Perfect, because here it says cut on the fold. We need to cut 2 of these because it's going to be fully lined. I like to use a small rotary cutter like this. You might prefer scissors, so use whichever you prefer. Remember, ignoring these dotted lines for now. So cut 1, then get your other piece in position and fits perfectly. There we have 2 of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to open out both of these and we're going to put them, let's put all this stuff to one side, we're going to put them right sides facing. And now what we're going to do is we're going to sew all the way around this edge so that it's completely enclosed. And I'm going to do it on my serger, but you can, if you haven't got an overlocker serger, you can zigzag, and it's important to use a zigzag or an overlock stitch so that it keeps its stretch. And as I said before, this is a pattern that is suitable for complete beginners. It is very straightforward and simple to make. I'm going to overlock all around the edge. So it's folded in half with a fold across the bottom, and now I'm going to fold it in half again so that it matches, so that it's four layers thick. So it's folded in half and then quartered. And now what I'm going to do is just cut a V out of here. Not, as I say, I'll just guess it. I don't bother taking the time to look at the pattern particularly, so that you've got a V cut out like that. And so that is kind of like the dotted lines that I had before. What I do next is I take this and open it out and I put these 2 bits together. And because I'm using my overlocker or serger, if you're in America, I don't use pins. If you're using a sewing machine, you can use pins because it doesn't matter. But on an overlocker, you really don't want to hit a pin with the knife or else you'll ruin your of overlocker. So I use these little clips instead, just to keep that so that it's central. And what we're going to do is we're going to stitch and enclose that edge just there. Okay. So that it's got four rows of overlocking like this. Then what we do, through this area here, we turn the whole thing the right way round. Okay, so we're going to turn it so that the right side is showing. And you'll see there, that's where the four corners meet. And then we do the same again. So this is now going to be the lining of the hat, so it doesn't matter if you see this bit. So again, I'm going to put a clip on that centerpiece there, just to hold it in place. Okay. Snip. So then what I tend to do is I generally tie a knot in here so that it doesn't unravel, and then give it a snip. Same again the other side. Let's cut some of this off because it's in the way. So you could do that a bit closer really. If it's too far away, it's not going to help much. Some people tuck their threads in as well, which I normally do, but I can't find my needle for some reason that I normally do that with, so I'm going to ignore that at this time. Okay, so now this is the inside of the hat. So you're going to choose around about halfway, and then, let's move this out of the way a little bit more, and then you're going to tuck the lining of the hat inside and give it a good smoosh around so that it's all going in there nicely. Jiggle it around until you have it nice and straight, and it sometimes takes a little bit of a jiggle. It's a good idea then to give it a little press so that this bottom edge is nice and sharp. Okay, so then what you do is you give it a turn up, and the turn up can be dictated by the size of the baby's head. There you go, a little hat for a newborn. And if you've got a baby that is born early, then you could make this pattern slightly smaller, or as I say, if it's for even up to an adult, you can change the size of this and basically make it for anybody, for any size. Okay, newborn hat.